say that anybody in the federal bureaucracy who is not elected representatives obviously are elected by the people, but if the people who are not elected, if your social security number ends in an odd number, you're out. If it ends in an even number, you're in. There's a 50% cut right there.
Wait, did you just hear that? A plan to fire half the government based on whether your social security number ends in an odd or even digit? This is the absolute chaos happening in DC right now, and the numbers being cut are actually staggering. You need to see how they're planning to dismantle the system from the inside.
Yeah, it's really possible. I mean, I'll tell you one easy way to do it. This is I'm being a little bit glib here, but I think it's not crazy, at least as a thought experiment. Get in there on day one.
Look at the way Vivek breaks this down. It sounds like a thought experiment, but he's basically calling for a chainsaw approach to the entire federal bureaucracy. The wild part isn't just the idea, it's the reasoning that this would bypass every single discrimination lawsuit because it's stochastically random. Think about sitting at your desk in a government office and realizing your entire career depends on the last digit of your ID card. He's arguing that 25% of the people do 90% of the work anyway, so why not just clear the decks? It's a complete pivot from how politics usually works, where everything is a slow chisel. Here, he's advocating for a total reset. You can see the intensity in the room because this isn't just talk. It's a blueprint for a smaller, more restrained government that would fundamentally change how the U.S. operates on a daily basis.
From pretty bad shape, it was like bee stings. It was like he got a new lease of life. Like he got a big dose locally in the hip, which fixed all his inflammation and pain, and he started walking again. And his kidneys were good, and his heart, he had a prolapsed valves in there, and they healed. And his cognitive powers improved. His eyesight improved.
Whoa.
You know, and other stuff improved that he would hate me to talk about.
Now, switch gears to something even more mind-blowing. Did you catch Mel Gibson talking about his 92-year-old father? He's describing what sounds like a literal fountain of youth through stem cell therapy. When Joe Rogan is leaning in that hard, you know the topic is high stakes. They're talking about lightning coming out of fingers and eyesight improving at nearly 100 years old. It sounds like science fiction, but this is the reality of regenerative medicine that most people can't even access yet. Notice how they mention the price tag, $30,000 to $50,000 for a single trip overseas. That's the real kicker. It's a world where the elite are essentially hacking their biology while everyone else is just trying to get a standard checkup. The energy in this clip is palpable because they aren't just discussing health. They're discussing a total paradigm shift in how we age and recover from injuries that used to be permanent.
I'm a cancer researcher, so let me explain the science behind it. Everybody always says that dark chocolate is very healthy for you. That is because dark chocolate or hot chocolate are made out of cocoa or cacao, and cocoa is super rich in flavonols, which is where all of the health benefits are coming from. When you consume flavonols, your body produces...
Check out Dr. William Lee here because he's bridging that gap between the $50,000 injections and something you can actually find in your pantry. He's explaining that high flavanol cocoa literally commands your bone marrow to release repair cells into your bloodstream. It's like a bees leaving a hive effect for your internal repair crew. Most people just think of chocolate as a treat, but look at the science he's citing. A 47% improvement in blood vessel lining for heart patients. That is a massive clinical number. It's fascinating because it turns a standard nutritional conversation into a high-level biohacking strategy. You're seeing the actual mechanism of how nitric oxide expands your vessels and triggers a cellular response. It's rare to see a cancer researcher get this excited about something as simple as cacao, but the data on circulating repair cells is hard to ignore. This is a total game changer for daily heart health.
In terms of cutting spending right now, Kevin.
Oh, well, I mean, absolutely, we've made a huge amount of progress, and I think that...
Back to the economics. Look at Kevin Hassett's face when he talks about these numbers. We're talking about 352,000 federal employees who are just gone. They've either resigned, retired, or been fired and haven't been replaced. That brings the federal workforce down to 1966 levels. Regardless of your politics, the sheer scale of that reduction is a massive shift in the national debt trajectory. Hassett is pointing out that this isn't just a one-time save, it's a permanent reduction in the baseline budget. It's the unthinkable amounts of money he mentions, trillions over a decade. Most people don't realize how much of the job growth in previous years was just government bloat. By cutting the bureaucracy, they're claiming it actually stimulates the private sector by removing that wet blanket of regulation. It's a massive gamble on supply-side effects that hasn't been seen at this scale in modern history.
Yeah, hey guys, good morning. With high-stakes talks scheduled this weekend in Islamabad, Pakistan.
This is where things get dangerous. Look at the map of the Strait of Hormuz. Iran has essentially turned the world's most vital oil artery into a private toll booth. The IRGC, that's the Revolutionary Guard, has reportedly taken full control and is demanding fees from vessels just to pass through. It's a direct violation of the agreements Trump thought were in place. The stakes here are $100 a barrel oil and global energy stability. If the IRGC thinks they can squeeze the global economy for a few bucks, they're playing a very high-risk game of chicken with a U.S. administration that is notoriously impatient. Notice the report mentions intelligence being shared that Iran is tightening its grip right before major negotiations. It's a classic power play, but as we've seen, the U.S. military is essentially seconds away from just taking over the strait if the pressure gets too high. High-stakes layoffs and health hacks. The world is moving fast. Drop a comment below. Would you trust a cocoa-based stem cell boost? See you in the next one.